I wanted to make movies since I was 9. I always knew what I wanted to do. And I was confused when people said they didn't know what they wanted to do, because I always knew I wanted to tell stories. I wanted to make movies, and I thought if I could reach a certain point with film, if I could reach the summit of this dream that I had, then I would have figured out life. Ultimately, after I'd gone through a film class in high school and I went to film school, and I saw an article in the newspaper, and it was called "South Korean Pastor Tends an Unwanted Flock." And so I felt like, hey, maybe this is something for me. The article was about a man who had built a depository for disabled babies. And my immediate reaction was, why does this exist? You know, what does it say about me? What does it say about you? What does it say about all of us? And it was kind of haunting to me, you know, a box for babies. And so I decided to send an email. But a month later, I get an email from Pastor Lee, and it says this in broken English. Dear Brian, I don't know what it means to make a documentary film, exactly, but you can come live with me if you want. And so I said, see you soon. I thought this was my golden ticket to be, you know, the winner of the Grand Jury Prize at Sundance Film Festival, the greatest film festival in the world. And again, I really wanted to be famous. And the thing about it is a story like this can really make it for you, because social justice is very trendy, and doing good is kind of cool, you know, even if secretly it's all for you. I got to see a guy, he never had me time, you know? It's like he didn't have nothing was his, but at the same time he had everything. You know, how did that work? How could he give everything? Or how could he give everything without needing anything back from any of these kids? I thought I was going over there to help this man save some babies, and I had no idea God was going to save me. And I think it's because I didn't know I needed to be. Christianity was decorative to me. And so God was a spiritual butler. I asked for things, and if they happened, I was really thankful. If they didn't happen, well, maybe he wasn't really there anyway. So it was kind of just a convenience basis, and he was a dispensary system. You know, that's how my relationship with God worked, if you can call it a relationship. When I came back from this trip to Korea, I hear a sermon, and this sermon talked about Jesus Christ on the cross, and everybody's heard about this cross, right? It's this rallying cry for Christians, and I even bought a cross necklace to go on this trip, because I thought if I'm going to be making a movie about a pastor, I should buy like a cross necklace or something, you know? And so when I heard the sermon about Jesus Christ taking my place, it was the first time I'd ever heard that. But it was more than that. It was the way he talked about Jesus Christ becoming sin. And so in the Bible, it talks about, you know, he made him who knew no sin to become sin, so that through him we might become the righteousness of God. And if that sounds like mumbo jumbo to somebody watching this doesn't understand that, it did to me at first too. But what hit me was that, wait a minute, so he became my story. He didn't actually do those things, but he took the punishment like he had done all the ugly stuff I ever did. And people would always say, Jesus came to die for your sins. And I would be like, okay, I don't, thanks, you know, I get it. All right, fine, you're better than me. But that day, I realized that that was true, but he also came to become all those things that I was so that I might become him. And it's this great reversal that changed my life, of just realizing that he went to all those other places and then went to the cross for me, and I didn't have to go to that place as long as I let him go on my behalf. So he lived the life I could never live and died the death I should have died in my place. And I was so broken to pieces by that. And what I realized was, all these kids that were dropped off with their disabilities and deformities, I sure had them too. And I was just one of those kids. And just like those kids were left in the box in the dark, I was in the dark. And I got pulled out by a father into the light. When I went back to Korea after I got saved for the second trip to finish the film, instead of making it all about the movie, I made it about the people, and the film got a lot better. I remember the first time I went there, and I looked at it and I just shrugged, because that was for those kids. And now when I go see it, I think, I mean, I got saved too. Christianity is not a program that you sign up for. It's not a decoration. It's not a label. It's not something you inherit from your family. It's the place you find yourself when you go, I give up. I'm helpless. Because when it comes to living forever, we are all helpless and incapable of doing anything about it. And so the Dropbox is the place for me where I go, God, I need to be saved. Thank you for finding me. And now I get to go home.